According to the New York Times, for many years, wealthy places like the United States and Europe have had the biggest historical responsibility for global warming. China's astonishing rise is upending that dynamic. Over the past 3 decades, China has built more than 1,000 coal-fired power plants, as its economy has grown more than 40-fold. The country has become by far the largest emitter of greenhouse gases on planet Earth. It is not close, by the way. The United States has been dropping since about the year 2000. The European Union, the same. China has increased its emissions per year from approximately 4 gigatons in the year 2000 to somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 gigatons today. Last year, for the first time, passed Europe as the second largest historical emitter. That's like cumulative. That includes all the years where Europe was leading at China. Now, China's lying about this. They're promising their emissions are going to peak this decade and then start falling. There's no reason to believe that. Cheap growth is where it's at for China. Now, the New York Times tries to make excuses for China. They say, you know what? In terms of emissions per person, it's still pretty low in China. Right, it's going to increase. Because China, if it does not continue to provide additional layers of economic growth, is going to fail. They have a lot of crises on their hands. They have a demographic crisis on their hands. They have a massive imbalance between the number of young men and young women in their country. They have serious debt crisis on their hands. They have an innovation crisis on their hands. They can steal a lot of tech. But you know who did that also? The Soviet Union.